What have you made of him?
The cheat.
Early. Is Jake Paul natural? No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things.
If I can test you randomly for performance enhancing the next 2 years, and I never got a response on that.
What if I told you Jake Paul might be stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua, using something more than just training? And what if a heavyweight legend just revealed the truth? Today, the real story is finally coming out, and trust me, once you hear what Joshua said, you won't look at this fight the same again. Watch closely, this gets wild. Anthony Joshua has reportedly exposed Jake Paul, claiming Jake might not be fighting naturally and could be using PEDs. Joshua says he doesn't care how big or strong Jake tries to look because his own confidence never shakes. He explains that he is hungry, focused, and fully ready to enter the ring. Joshua believes his experience and discipline will always beat whatever Jake brings on fight night.
Oh, Jake's small, so that makes me confident. Jake's this, so that makes me confident. I'm just focused on myself. I'm confident in myself. Jake could be 10 foot. I'm confident in myself. That's what I'm saying. It's not about how he is. I just really I've got a good team. I've been through ups and downs. I've stood the test of time. I'm passionate. I'm hungry, and I'm still here ready to fight my heart out. So I'm confident in that.
Anthony, not only from the UK, but from
Jake Paul's growing confidence has made many boxing experts doubt him. Analysts say Paul thinking he can challenge someone like Anthony Joshua is unrealistic. Joshua is a world-class heavyweight with years of training, big championship fights, and real experience that Paul has never faced. Many people also point out that Jake's body and performance make it look like he might be using something. Meanwhile, Joshua stays natural and still has size, power, and skill that are on another level. Because of this huge gap, fans and experts are questioning if Paul is truly ready for such a massive fight.
Is Jake Paul natural? No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things. Now let's give Jake the benefit of the doubt, right? He's able to restrain from the peer pressure that everyone's putting on him to hop on these certain compounds. Then that would be cool to train natural, do what he needs to do. But the thing is, his body composition has changed so much, his explosiveness, his power, and yes, that comes with training and time. But I find it very, very suspicious that for some reason, whenever a drug test gets brought up, for instance, when Fury wanted that in the contract, Jake Paul turns them down. So you should think to yourself, it's probably because he's not natural. Now I want to make it clear, I don't care whether Jake Paul is natural or not. There's so many people that aren't natural that are in combat sports. In fact, Tyron Woodley probably is also not natural. Everyone wants that little edge over their competition, and that's where drugs and anabolics come into play. There's certain compounds that are out there that just increase your explosiveness immensely, your recovery, so that you can stay in the same weight class, which is very important for combat sports, whether that's boxing, UFC, whatever type of combat sport you're doing. So that is why you guys have seen so much improvement from Jake Paul. Of course, he has a great circle around him, great trainers, great coaches, a great regimen, but definitely anabolics play a very fundamental role in that. They allow him to train as hard as he does. They allow him to increase his power and speed. And of course, when you think of those concepts, that's essentially the recipe to...
Deontay Wilder has added more heat to this situation by hinting that the fight agreement could decide the winner. He suggests this match might be more about entertainment and money than pure boxing. Wilder says that in some big fights, whoever the contract favors usually ends up winning. This has made fans wonder if Jake Paul's fast rise in boxing is because of promotion and business deals instead of skill alone.
Joshua, and they asked Deontay Wilder, who does he think will win the fight? And he said, whatever's in the contract for the person to win, that's who will win. And let me counterpunch. What Wilder is saying is what a lot of people are fearing, right? You know, the Jake Paul FDA that, hey, he has to win each and every fight has been one of those things that has been lingering around in the boxing world. as we seen about Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson seeing him pulling punches or appeared to be pulling punches and not really trying to fight Jake Paul. And I reminded people that it was an exhibition. And despite how it was billed and what Mike promised to do, I think none of those guys were just trying to hurt each other. You know, I think Jake Paul was actually just trying to, you know, just share the ring with a legend. You know what I mean? To be honest, he made sure he won, sure, but, you know, he didn't try to go out of his way to hurt Mike like he did, like he dropped Anderson Silva or he knocked out.
These claims have created a lot of debate because this fight has huge money involved. Big boxing matches usually come with complicated contracts and massive payouts. Wilder's comments opened people's eyes to how these deals might influence outcomes behind the scenes. Not everyone believes the fight could be fixed, but many are starting to question the real motives. Another analyst, Wade, says Joshua has clear advantages. He explains that Joshua's strength, size, and technical skills are far beyond anything Jake has ever faced. Even though Joshua is older now, his experience and conditioning make him extremely dangerous. Wade believes Jake might be rushing into this fight too soon and underestimating Joshua's toughness and ring intelligence.
If, again, in some world that actually happened, boxing in the UK has to die. If that happens. Boxing as a whole has to take a look in the mirror if Jake walks out and knocks out Anthony Joshua in the first round. This is why I said AJ has the most pressure maybe on any boxer ever with this fight, because it's not for a world title, but it's essentially for the legitimacy of the sport. Like, without saying it, not because Jake doesn't have actual legitimate, boxing match, nothing like that, but because Jake shouldn't be in a ring with Anthony Joshua ever in his career. From when he started to what he is right now, Jake has not shown the skill, the ability yet to be in a ring with any former champion that's still in the game at heavyweight. So he's able to not only go in there, I said survive more than 3 rounds, but knock AJ out? Dude, the sport will have to drop a nuclear bomb on the sport.
I'm honored to be here. I'm happy to be here. I think December 19th is going to be crazy though. I think the center's going to be buzzing, just crazy energy in that room. I think it's really good. So now, remember, I took a year out of the game to refresh because I was just piling on more and more baggage. I just feel fresh. I feel rejuvenated. It wasn't like I took the year out in vain. I had a purpose, and now I'm just living. No, you look fresh. I feel good, man. I feel good. I've been training hard. I'm close to the weight that I need to be at for the fight. I feel good. He's done me a favor. Walking around bulky and heavy. I feel quick. I feel amazing, so I'm looking forward to the fight.
Oh no, dude, the weight's gonna backfire now too? That's what you're telling me? You're telling me that Jake cut the weight down to 245 is actually gonna make him more of a machine? It's gonna help his gas tank, it's gonna help him be lighter and quicker on his feet. The things that Jake said he's not, gonna help him feel more loose and not as stiff. Fuck! Backfiring again, everything. Damn, dude, because he's already a big guy, and that makes sense. One of the things that you naturally do in a boxing camp is lose weight by doing cardio and obviously training and sparring and everything. But now all you're doing is having AJ get in better shape because he's just going to run more. He's already on weight, apparently. By the way, this him saying this all was from a video 3.5 weeks ago. But when you go to AJ's Twitter, this is December 4th.
Joe Rogan has also shared strong thoughts about this matchup. Rogan says that even at this stage of his career, Joshua is still fast, powerful, and mentally sharp. He warns that Jake's boxing style, which works against weaker fighters, won't help him against a real heavyweight champion. Rogan explains that Joshua knows how to stay calm under pressure, how to think in the ring, and how to survive tough moments. He questions if Jake is making a smart career move by taking this challenge. Rogan says that fighting a top-level opponent requires not just training but serious mental strength. For Jake, this fight might be the hardest test of his life.
Used to be. This is a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua. This is a terrifying human being. Terrifying. Again, a guy who survived Usyk twice. You saw what Usyk did to Dubois? You see Usyk take out Dubois? Did you see that? I mean, that's the Usyk you're talking about. There's an Usyk that rocked Tyson Fury, who's fucking 6'9".
So Jake Paul's 6'1" versus 6'6" Anthony Joshua. Jake weighed in for the Tyson fight at 199.
Yeah.
Joshua against
252.
Ngannou was 252.
6'6". Just not just 6'6", but 6'6", and knows how to use every fucking inch of it. Knows how to keep that stick in your face. He was keep that jab in his face, and that right hand, if it hits you, you're fucked. And he's not worried about you the way he's worried about Usyk. You can't move like Usyk. You can't constantly be frustrating and overloading his nervous system. Usyk is overloading every aspect of your senses at every moment. He's constantly moving, and then punches are coming, and he loops punches around your guard, and he's constantly shifting his feet, and you think he's gonna be there, and he's over here, and it's like this overload of thinking. It's not a casual, relaxed fight where you can kind of move around and get your groove and he's going to stay on the outside and you're going to... No, it's just constant. He survived that guy twice. He survived, in my opinion, the most skillful heavyweight of all time. Twice. And you're going to go box him? And the toughest guy you fought before was 40 years old Anderson Silva? That was the toughest guy so far you fought? You've lost to Tommy Fury, who's a very good boxer, but... This is a giant Olympic gold medalist heavyweight. I mean, Anthony Joshua is fucking
Is the
terrifying.
thing that nightmares are made of.
And he's got that one-punch nuke.
Frank Smith responds to Jake's claim that Joshua has a weak chin. Smith believes Jake is wrong because Joshua has shown toughness many times. Jake's confidence may excite his fans, but Smith warns that disrespecting Joshua is a dangerous mistake. He says the first round could be explosive, with both fighters possibly going for a knockout. However, even if the fight starts fast, Smith believes that beating someone as experienced as Joshua will be extremely hard for Paul. Smith reminds everyone that boxing can be unpredictable, but keeping up with a top heavyweight is a different level of challenge.
Safety, Frank, being pushed for entertainment purposes here.
No, look, obviously we are in a dangerous sport. We have to accept that, and obviously the people looking after Jake Paul. If I was managing or promoting Jake Paul, would I say this is the right move for Jake Paul? Probably not. Being completely honest with you, but he's put himself in a position. You know, was Jake Paul Mike Tyson a sensible thing to do to a 58-year-old man or 60? I'm not sure what Mike is, but was that sensible? Probably not. And I would have said that at the time. But it's the world we live in now, and the reality is a lot of